Hi everyone, we're just gonna wait a couple more minutes before we get started. Good to see all of you. Cool, team, we might make a start. Great seeing all of you here for the June webinar again, and for anyone who's joining us for the first time, welcome, and feel free to get in touch with me if you have any questions or any feedback after this. My name is Anusha. I can leave my details behind as well. So we have a fantastic agenda for you guys again this month. Sorry if this is going to work. Awesome. So we have some updates on Microsoft Inspire. We have enablement updates. Paul's doing a bit of a demo. And then we have Pip speaking as well on commercial campaigns. And we have the opportunity for Q&A as well, but I know Ken is incorporating a bit of that into Inspire. So without further ado, Ken, are you on the call?
Am I coming through clearly?
Yes, you are. Do you want to request control?
Perfect. Just give me 1 second here. Sweet. So I think I should have control now.
Yeah, you do.
All right, then. Thanks very much for that, Anusha. So first off, thanks for having me. And yep, my name's Ken Wong. As you can see here, my details are on the screen. I'm the channel marketing manager for Enablement at Microsoft New Zealand, but this year I'll also be managing Microsoft Inspire for New Zealand locally. And first off, I'm glad to. Can I change the slide? Sweet. First off, I'm glad to announce that Microsoft Inspire is still ongoing, despite the current situation, but it will be a completely virtual and remote event. Registrations are open if you haven't already. This is the partner event of the year that we always champion, and it's registering at this stage. There's no cost for it for Microsoft Inspire this year, and you can register now at partner.microsoft.com/inspire. I'll be talking a little bit about what is available on Inspire, but bearing in mind that this year Inspire is very different to what we are used to. And there are a lot of things that are still up in the air that we're kind of working through, especially with our team up in the US in order to confirm. So just a couple of things is that the registration for Inspire is completely free for all Microsoft Partner Network members. Everyone here should be a Microsoft partner. It will be a 2-day event. That's a full 48 hours. I'll be going through what we have so far of the agenda, which, minor spoiler, it's quite sparse at the moment. It'll be a fully digital and remote event as well. So there'll be no live sessions as far as people walking around and none of that. It will be completely online and accessed through yeah, internet connections, webinars, formats, all that kind of stuff. And it will be a lot more compact compared to previous years. So there will not be a lot of, for those who are familiar, post-inspired drinks or anything like that we would have in, Vegas. Unfortunately, I guess I would say. Some of the supporting programs I'll be talking about today is the Inspire Scheduler, which I think would be it's super important for us to kind of get across. We will have a area session for APAC, which is confirmed, but a lot of the structure is to be confirmed, unfortunately, and a Know Before You Go webinar, which we fully recommend partners take a part of before the Inspire session itself. Just before I get started any further, if there are any questions, feel free to just put them on the chat window. I'll get to them when I can. So first off, I've got some featured speakers for our 2020 Inspire, as you can see in front of us, up from our Corp team, our leadership team up in Corp. All the way from Satya Nadella, to all the entire C-suites and CVPs, as you see in front of us here. And they will be speaking in what we are going to be calling the core sessions on Inspire. So, and a little bit about core sessions, as you can see here, Inspire will be divided to 4 major sessions or 4 different sort of content types. So the core content will generally run for will run once a day live, and that will be on the schedule, which I'll share in a bit, and that will mainly involve the core speakers that we have, talking a little bit about Inspire, talking a little bit about Microsoft and our partnership with all of you great partners that we work with. There will be the interstellar programming, and this stuff runs throughout the entire 48 hours. There is no specific, I would say, structure in terms of the programming, but it is meant to keep the event active. It's meant for you to involve yourself into it and kind of get kind of feel involved within the entire 48 hours as well. The next ones is the digital breakouts. So this is more sessions towards targeted learning around anything from business applications to the more traditional modern workplace. So this is, really involving partners in the learning experience and what's available. And lastly, what we have is community connections. So there's a bunch of different things that you can do, but this is really about engaging with the community at the sessions themselves, right? So having a person to talk to and, sharing some thoughts and, getting some feedback in terms of, how's it going in terms of the Microsoft partnership that you would have as well. In terms of the, let me put the mouse away, sorry. In terms of the session programming, this is what we have available. So the core content, as you can see here, these are all in New Zealand times, starts at, for us, quite unfortunately, 3:30 a.m. in the morning, which, is ridiculously early. But I would recommend that the first, that the first instance of time that it's good for us here is around the 11:30 a.m. slot to actually experience the core content, which will be key segments with Judson Outhoff, Nick Parker, and Gabriella Schuster. And similarly for Wednesday as well, it should be around this, which is 11:30 once again. So as you can see here, we have the digital breakout sessions, and there will be 12 of them, and each of them will be different sessions, and you have a different selection of different sessions you can take a part on. Once again, business applications, Azure, modern workplace, data and AI. It would be great, to participate in those. But meanwhile, there'll be tons of different things happening in the meantime in the interstellar programming. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of information on exactly what these digital breakouts will compose of at this stage. That will be available with the Inspire Scheduler, which should be made available on the 9th of July, which I'll talk a little bit about after this. In terms of recording early sessions, so if you look at these RLCs, which are actually the recorded live chat sessions. So in terms of the interactivity of the digital breakout, talking a little bit about that is we'll be having a live chat session available for everybody who's participating in the digital breakout. And all of these RLCs will actually be those very same sessions. However, we will have Microsofties there participating in the live chat despite it being a recorded session. This gives you an opportunity to join a session, let's say in the digital breakout one session, let's say there were two great sessions you wanted to join, but obviously you can't, clone yourself, so you only can join one of them. In the RLC one, you would find an opportunity to sit on that session again, or you can join a different session out of that same breakout slot. And you will still have that ability to have that live chat interface with professionals on the other end of, the line per se. Cool. The next thing, so this is a little bit of the agenda, and I know it's not a lot to show, unfortunately, but it's what we have here. Let me see. Next page. So this session catalog and scheduler is mainly how you're going to be interfacing with Inspire when it comes out. So the session scheduler, sorry, it's just a small part of what we call My Inspire, and My Inspire will be the app per se that will be managing anything from sessions to meetings that you may have with professionals within Inspire, which there'll be a ton of people that you can reach out to for these meetings. There's a 9th of July release at this stage, is what I've been told. And keep an eye on this. If you've registered for Inspire, you should get access to this as soon as it comes out. And this is just more of what the tool would look like, where you could schedule meetings with different people within Microsoft as well. So this is actually moving on to enablement already, but just before I get onto enablement, I just wanted to share one thing, and I don't have a slide for this, unfortunately, but I do know that on Monday, on the 20th, there will be an APAC kickoff session. This is real, fresh off the press news, unfortunately, and I don't have something that I can share as a slide, like I've mentioned, but it should be around, for New Zealand times, I think, probably after hours around 5 to 7 is what I've been told at this stage. And it will involve APAC leadership from New Zealand, from APAC leadership from Singapore, presenting, about some different things that are happening around the Microsoft partner space, and some stuff around Inspire that we, would recommend our partners attend as well. So at this stage, the only thing I can recommend is make sure you're signed on to our Yammer channels, because as soon as it comes out, that's where we'll be blasting it and putting announcements on. And yeah, looking forward to seeing all of you on Inspire and on this APAC kickoff session as well. All right, so kind of moving on to partner enablement. Unfortunately, as far as internal Microsoft programs go, as we reach the end of the financial year, there isn't a lot for me to announce, but I do know that our great learning partners, ACE Training and Althouse, are running some great stuff, as always, for all of you guys. So first of all, as you may know, there's Tech Week coming at the end of the month, next month, that is, actually, not this month. And Tech Week is really just a nationwide series of events showcasing and celebrating some, of the New Zealand's greatest technical solutions, right? And in terms of this, ACE are actually presenting a collaboration with Microsoft Teams solution, which, I think will be also quite great for some of our partners to attend as well. It will be from 3 to 4 p.m. and it will be free to attend. If you haven't registered for this event, it will be on techweek.co.nz. And second off, in terms of Althouse, they are offering Dynamics trainings and a Azure training offer. So first off, with the Dynamics training, sorry, did someone say something? Okay, cool. Yep, so first off with the Dynamics training, the Microsoft Power Platform training is available for MB200. And I know that they're running a partner offer at the moment for 2 for 1. And, that's what it says on the label. So if you attend this training, for the price of 1, you would be able to fit 2 people into this training. This is a certified exam, so for the MB200 once again, which would be awesome, and it's running next week. From the other side of it, in terms of Azure training, Althouse has helped us train in excess of 400 Azure students, which is just honestly amazing considering, like the size that we have here in New Zealand, right? And they have special MPN pricing, I know for a fact, available. So if you do contact Lei at althouse.co.nz over there, Lei R, sorry, at althouse.co.nz, she'll be able to set, our partners up with some amazing Azure training offers at a discounted rate. So, something to definitely work with and consider as you work through your technical capabilities with your team. And I think that's me for enablement and Inspire. If there are any questions in terms of Microsoft Inspire and enablement, I'm more than happy to take them. Just put them into the chat window or at the end of the call. Yeah, I'm happy to answer those questions as well. And I think it's back to you, Anusha.
Cool. Thank you so much, Ken. And team, this webinar is being recorded. I'll put these slides up on Yammer as well. So you will have access to the links that Ken has just put up as well. But yeah, feel free to use the chat window, and PB, take the floor.
Hey, thanks guys. Yeah, hi all, it's Paul Bowkett speaking. Great to see lots of familiar names on the call. We are really excited about Inspire being virtual this year. We, of course, had a major test run running Build, our annual developer conference, not too many weeks back, which went off really, really well. And the format of repeating the keynotes seems to work, pretty well. You just have to adjust your day around the content. So we're really, really looking forward to it. The great thing about this is that more and more people can get to experience Inspire, albeit not in Las Vegas, but there's going to be so much great content this year. There's a huge product pipeline, of course, that we have, and many great announcements. So so please make sure you do register for Inspire and join the keynotes and sessions. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I've got some content for you guys today focused on our FY21 major kind of initiatives and plans. For those that aren't aware, we run a July to June fiscal year, so we are right in the throes of the last few days of our FY20 right now, and we will shortly transition into FY21. And so what I want to talk about today is some of the new priorities and what we call sales plays for FY21. I'll contrast that with what we were doing this year. And then I want to just shift into a little bit of discussion around Business Premium, which is, of course, the old Microsoft 365 Business SKU, given the new name changes. This is a big focus for us, and I want to talk a little bit about some of the security aspects of the service, which you'll see more and more from us now, really not in terms of campaigns and everything. And so I really want to make sure you guys are across that detail. You can see here I've got an actual campaign I'll take you through called Secure Remote Workplace. And then we've also launched a new tool for partners called the Commercial Consulting Tool. Interesting name. All will be revealed as we go through. So, guys, this stuff here is what we use for some of our internal landing with our CSP providers. So some of this is, kind of internal speak in some respects, but I really wanted to share it with you guys. I hope you get the feeling that I'm being completely transparent here about what our key goals are at Microsoft in terms of driving the modern workplace. Of course, it does revolve around Microsoft 365, but these three pillars on the left-hand side is how we'll position everything from our campaigns in market, our advertising we do from, banner ads and things like that, through to sales tools, collateral, PowerPoints, things like that, all revolve around these three key areas, which is enabling secure remote work, reducing cost and managing risk, and then transforming organizational productivity. I'll show you in a moment what our motions were in FY20. You'll see that they're pretty similar. We're just taking a slightly different narrative, mostly because of the COVID situation around the world. And so, clearly things like reducing cost, managing risk, security, and remote work obviously been critical in this time. Maybe not so much now for New Zealand with the opening up here, but obviously around the world, still pretty critical. And so the hero services, if you like, align to each of those pillars around Teams, conditional access with a broader security piece, and device management, and so on. And then how we're measured internally. So in New Zealand, we have segments. We have enterprise, corporate, small, medium business segments, consumer, things like that. Each of those areas has different success measures that go on a scorecard that the country is aligned to. And for SMB, for modern workplace, our major scorecard initiatives are driving new seat ads of Microsoft 365, driving Business Premium. There's no real surprise there. Driving Business Voice. For those that have been on these calls before, I've talked a couple of times now in the last few months on Business Voice. which is broadly available through different partners in New Zealand. And then Windows 10, getting people into Windows 10, and then Surface build revenue as well. I will just point out, though, that we're all about driving partner devices as well as part of this motion as well. And so then this breaks further down into a bit more detail. I won't go through each of these here, just other than to draw your attention to the second column in the table. So we have these go-to-market priorities, and so globally this fiscal year, or our next fiscal year, every campaign that Microsoft runs across any product or solution area will be all either underpinned by responding to crisis or rebuilding for the future. And these campaigns can encompass cross product, cross segment, many different aspects. And so these are relevant specifically to modern workplace. And you can see some of the core conversations on the so second to the right, far right column, which talks about how we're positioning the solutions that we have. Most of it's pretty straightforward, but you'll just start to see more and more of the language and content evolving around these key areas, such as with security, reducing TCO. So instead of having to go and buy, multiple third-party security solutions, you can buy one product from Microsoft that gives you most of that stuff in one suite for one small monthly price. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. That's how we're driving. We'll be driving our business and driving also partner business plans for those partners that we directly manage and work with, and with our CSP providers as well. So we've also launched this new campaign as part of this. It's pretty much fresh out now, and it's called Securing Remote Work. And all of this content is available to you. I've downloaded the same deck that you have access to on our website. I've got the links that I'll show you shortly. I'm not going to go through all of the slides. There's actually a lot of slides in here that essentially talk about both the business aspects of remote work and securing an environment in this day and age, but also cross matches that or correlates that to Business Premium, our premium small and medium business plan as well. And so I won't go through this. You guys are all familiar with this, people working from home, increased phishing, all of those kind of things. How do you access data on different devices, get people mobile, those kinds of things. And so this is where Business Premium comes in. I'm hoping that most of you are across this product set now. But this is the messaging that we will use in this campaign and throughout the year around the product. And it principally focuses on one single comprehensive solution that's secure. It allows people to work remotely. It has all of the communication technology required in Teams. It has all of the remote access needs. It has all of your device management security needs as well, and it reduces cost. And then so we break that down further then, and behind each of these slides, these are kind of the holding slide, each of these individual areas. So providing secure access to work apps then breaks down into another slide, which I've got hidden at the moment in this deck, which talks about the detail behind that. So for those that aren't aware, by the way, we announced recently that we were bringing the full Azure AD Premium Plan 1 to the Business Premium, Microsoft 365 Business Premium product. And what that means is you then have things like conditional access, self-service password reset, and then now secure access to work apps, published web apps, things like that, running from on-premise with that single sign-on. So some great things there, which a lot of people aren't really across that technology. So and I'll just remind everyone, if you're not across Microsoft 365 Business Premium, make sure you go get a trial of it, get installed, get across the capability, because the product is really maturing and really quite an amazing set of services. And then we go into managing work devices, so you get the full Intune technology plus securing endpoints and those kind of things, and of course autopilot as well, all built into the Microsoft 365 Business Premium. And then we've got all the information protection controls and policies, right? So from the Azure information rights management through to protecting putting sensitivity labels on documents, preventing data leaks, and then also the cloud access security broker service, and looking at being able to understand what cloud apps users inside a company are running through shadow IT or consumer kind of services that you need to protect as a business as well. There's a couple of slides here that go into a lot more detail than what I've just touched on. The purpose of today is not really to go into all of this. I just want to make sure you're aware that these are in here. If some of this stuff is new to you, I feel like these couple of slides here, there's this one and there's another one after this that covers identity and device management, really just zero in on the key areas that Business Premium offers to secure an organization. And the one thing I would call out again about this is that most companies today, if they're a mid-sized organization, will be buying third-party products that handle some of the different components you see on the slide. But when you move to Business Premium, it's a single product, single price, low monthly cost. I'll just move to the next slide so you can get a quick snapshot of that. So this is the identity and device management piece. I've already touched on a little couple of pieces of these. And so sitting behind all of this PowerPoint that I've shown you is all of the detail slides of each of these areas. I've hidden them for the purpose of the session, but it is available and I'll give you the link shortly. Now, some people might be saying, well, hang on, I already use Symantec and I use SMX and I use Trend and whatever other tools to do security management. And that's fine. I think most people probably aren't aware of the sheer scale that Microsoft has and has now become in terms of being a major security vendor. We pretty much lead the market in many areas now. We have essentially covered all of the key security aspects. I'll show you that in a moment with the Gartner stats. But we're able to do that because of the sheer number of signals that we get from all the services that we run now. And so when you can imagine the sheer volume of email trafficking through Exchange Online, we're able to pick up on threats very, very quickly and to identify and then protect against those. And so that's how we're able to do this at scale and at speed. And then if you look at the Gartner stats here, apologies, they're a little bit hard to see. You can go and zoom in on them when you grab the deck. But in these key areas around security, Microsoft is a leader in every one of these quadrants. There is no other vendor that does that. In access management, which is the one on the left, Okta is slightly higher than us in terms of their cloud identity management. But they don't have the on-prem piece. And so when you add all of those components together, and then you look at the other magic quadrants and where we lie, there's really no other vendor that can deliver all of those things. So make sure you do have a look into these. And these are just the 5 security kind of key ones. Of course, there's many other Gartner magic quadrants that were in those upper quadrants. Now, for those of you thinking, this Defender thing's not good enough, that's probably a bit of a thing of the past now. Defender is what we run actually internally at Microsoft, and as you can see from here, it has been awarded, really top score and protection ratings now by third-party analysts. So hopefully you do spend some time going and looking into some of the security aspects of Business Premium, and many of them come as part of EMS. So if you have customers today that run, maybe some components of Office 365, you can either upgrade them into Business Premium, or you can apply and purchase EMS, Enterprise Mobility and Security Suite, as a standalone service as well for those organizations. So what I really like about this slide here is the biggest selling SKU in New Zealand is something called Microsoft 365 Business Standard now. That's the good old Office 365 Business Premium. And so that product is the biggest selling SKU in New Zealand, which retails at $18.90 per user. For only $11 roughly more per month, you get all of the stuff you see on the left-hand side there. So I think you'd have to agree, most people would agree and see the value that you get for that $11. And almost always that will be cheaper than buying equivalent sets of tools that customers will already have today. And so from a partner perspective, there's lots of benefits around this. Obviously, you drive more revenue by selling Microsoft 365 Premium, but you'll also earn more rebates. For those people that are getting CSP rebates and the CSP rebate program. All you need is a competency and to sell a certain number of seats. We provide a larger rebate on the Microsoft 365 suite on the premium products. And that will continue into next year. We haven't announced yet our FY21 incentives plans. We'll probably do that next month. But that will be ongoing. We already do that today. We'll pay a premium on that. And of course, the great thing is you have a whole nother set of services that you can now start selling and deploying and managing for customers across the suite. Okay, so just wrapping up now, a couple of things we've launched. We've got now this tool called the Commercial Consulting Tool. It basically runs you through an assessment of a current customer's requirements, as well from both a product feature set, but also from a deployment perspective. While we're right here, I'm just going to jump out of this PowerPoint and I'm just going to jump into a quick view of this. So this is the tool here. It's up on the screen. You all have access to it. And you basically just click on the Get Started thing. I won't run through the whole thing right now. I'm just going to say this is not for a customer at the moment, but you just go here and you choose some options, put the industry in here. I'm going to go and begin the assessment. As I say, I won't go through and do all of it right now. I highly recommend you all do it. You can see it on the top of the screen here, each of the steps that this wizard takes you through, from productivity, security, collaboration, etc. You go through and complete some information. It's super easy to use, guys. How can we help your organization achieve more? Well, you need help with setup and deployment, or you need training as well, so on and so forth. Is it going to be self-managed or through a partner? Of course, you'd be choosing that. When do you want to purchase? Next 6 months. And then you click on next and you keep going through it. And what it does is it builds up essentially a recommendation for you on product, but then it also builds out a recommendation on deployment options for you and how to get started and a bunch of other things. You can then save this. You can spit it out into a PowerPoint and present that to a customer. So highly, highly recommend having a play around with this tool. The other quick thing in here is I've already alluded to this, is the full secure remote work campaign partner kit. So inside here is the opportunity deck, which is what we've just been looking at, this IT checklist, guidance, customer pitch decks, customer ready email templates. So it's all here. We have just launched this, literally it's hot off the press about a week or so back. And so you can see here there's lots more stuff to come, but that's up here again on the Microsoft 365 partner portal. I have linked to this before. I'll put the link again in the IM window after I finish speaking, but you'll get the links to all of this in the deck anyway. But here is where you can go and download that full partner kit, and it's got all of the current details and then additional resources and things like that. Also on the site, if I could do a quick plug, please do make sure, guys, you are looking into the site in terms of if you want to go and do security and compliance, here's all of the different things like our security workshops, compliance workshops. If you want to look at how you do adoption and change management, callings and meetings, all of our guidance and practice building documents and plans all in this portal. So please do make sure you make use of this site. Last couple of slides just here. I won't bother go back into full screen. So also on that portal is a whole bunch of these partner resources here. I've just got a nice little snapshot of them here. Things like, how do you build a new practice for SMBs with Microsoft 365, business decision makers, your teamwork. There's the bottom right hand corner there is the teamwork, so Microsoft Teams opportunity for partners, and that has guidance around how you build out service offerings, what are the things, what IP can you wrap around it, how you charge for it, what upsell can you do around that. Some really, really great resources in there, guys. I won't go through, I've got a bunch more hidden slides here, but just closing call to action here, definitely start thinking about how you can build out that security practice, right? It's super critical in this day and age. I'm sure you all do endpoint protection, things like that today. Start thinking about how you expand that and do full device management protection, full information management, etc. Go grab the SMB security kit as well. And with that, thank you very much all for listening to me today. I'll pop a couple of couple of links in the IM window shortly, and feel free to ping me if there's anything I can help with. Back to you, Anusha.
Thanks so much, Paul. I'll get my screen up again. And do we have Pip on the call at the moment?
Yes, you do. I'm here. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Pip. Do you want to request control?
Got it. Thank you. Well, hello, everybody. It's Pip here, probably a familiar voice and a familiar name, but in my new role as Head of Marketing here at Microsoft. And so taking this opportunity to still keep up my connections with the wonderful partner audience, but also start, I guess, sharing with you what we do across the customer landscape in marketing at Microsoft. And my goal here is about sharing about what we do from a Microsoft level, so you have an awareness around kind of the marketing that we're landing, an opportunity to learn, but also an opportunity to educate yourselves as well. What I'm going to share with you today is our new commercial campaign that has been launched by our corporate head office. And this is around COVID and around how our customer needs have dramatically changed in our economic climate, which we're operating in, and how Microsoft is responding that for our customers. And I guess my goal here is for you to demonstrate or showcase what we're doing, so how you might be able to pick up on some of the nuances or pick up on some of the learnings on what we're doing, and or some of the narratives that might be familiar to you and that you may wish to resonate within your own campaigns. So a call out here is, whilst I engaged and worked with a lot of partners in marketing across my previous role as go-to-market lead, here at Microsoft now in my new customer role, if there is more information that you would like to understand in and around what we do with customers, please do reach out to me, and I can share with you a lot of our global engagement programs, which are really around our content and our digital nurture campaigns that we share with our customers. But really what I'm going to focus on today is around our response to customers in the market, on how we are responding into around COVID from a global perspective, but then actually how that is landing here in New Zealand. So what we've created is this new campaign approach. It's one campaign, and it's called Open for Business. And there are two narratives, and the first phase of this is crisis response, and our second phase is around cost savings. And what I'm going to show you is around how we are delivering that creative into market through digital campaign activity, but how that is aligning to our sales plays or to our product in Microsoft Business. So let me take you on a little bit of a journey. Sorry, my computer's just frozen. Here we go. So this is the creative of the campaign. So what you're going to see here is around Open for Business across multiple pillars in and around about what is possible with our Microsoft technology and how we're helping customers navigate the challenges, get the tools that they need, and then how, as a trusted partner, along with our partners, understand that this is a journey that we're on with our customers. Our ultimate goal is around how we're helping our customers and helping our partners navigate this journey of COVID and how that is impacting our customers' business. So there's a really simple construct on how we're doing this, really underpinned with we're open. So open for secure remote teamwork, secure sign-on, crisis response, contactless shopping, etc., and collaborating in the cloud, and dev, and all this kind of thing. So this is what the creative looks like. Now, you may see this come into market. This has been lit up on digital channels, targeted customers, and also broad reach engagement across digital channels. So if you are like across our Facebook channels, our LinkedIn channels, across search, across anything digital related, actually, you may see this pop up. So I really want to use this partner forum to just sort of demonstrate what we're doing, targeting customers, and how you as partners might be able to leverage these stories. All right, it's very slow and changing.
While it's changing slides, I'm pleased you showed that, Pip. Actually, it ties nicely into the secure remote work campaign that we've just launched for partners.
Doesn't it just? And I think this is where the opportunity exists, PB, is that we do a lot of customer marketing for Microsoft, but really our partners don't often see that. And given that I've worked in the partner landscape for 3 years, I think it's really beneficial to demonstrate and show our partners what we're doing to support customers and also to promote our products into the customer landscape. So by sharing this kind of information, it really does sort of underpin the messaging, exactly what you're sharing, Paul, in and around what is landing in with partners also. So this crisis response phase, this slide here is really sort of the pillars of the creative that I just showed. So if we're looking around Enable Teams Anywhere, it's really sort of demonstrating how this aligns into the sales plays and what we focus on at Microsoft. So for this one, particularly around Teams meetings, calling, Surface and devices, and Windows Virtual Desktop, and then demonstrating how that aligns into the product alignment. Now down the bottom there, you'll see the blue sort of the bottom line there of where it says GEP. Now what GEP, well, as you know at Microsoft, we love a good acronym. So GEP means Global Engagement Program. So these are our digital nurture campaigns that follow the customer journey at whatever stage that they are in their purchasing decision, serving them up digital content that helps them educate them on their buying journey. So whenever we deliver a creative campaign, it's really about how then we drive that click through, that download, that event attendance, whatever that might be that the customer's engaging in, how we drive them into being nurtured by these global engagement programs. And so those that have some marketing experience, or those that use this in their business, that's what we call digital marketing or programmatic marketing. And so it's naturally serving the next stage of content of that learning journey, of that customer journey of where they are in their sales stage. Sorry, it's a very slow slide load.
Sorry, give me 1 sec. It's having a mind of its own today.
Nothing like a bit of awkward silence. So let's talk about then, whilst it's loading, and about security. You'll see there the alignment around the secure remote work and then how that aligns into we nurture from there. So what does this look like for a campaign for us? So our goal in marketing is how if we look at the top line there, is what is that customer journey? What is the natural next step that customers are doing in their buying behavior? So this is around go-to-market campaigns. You've got a campaign, how do you take it to market? What is that next step that customers are doing when they're engaging within your content or campaign activity? So as a top line for Microsoft, we run it across 5 aspects or 5 decision-making processes. So that's around that we're reaching customers, we have engagement with customers, we want to inquire customers, and then they're going through a consideration stage and then a decision-making process. So how do we build out a campaign that's going to consider across each of those stages of the buying process? So a commercial campaign, it's a high impact, it's an at-scale media compelling narrative that is going to be driving market awareness, of course, site traffic, and then we're going to retarget those people across multiple channels if they've clicked on or if they've engaged in our content. Now, an example of that is like, what is retargeting? That might be that you're on Stuff and you're reading your morning news and you're going to see some content served to you by Microsoft. Now, this is because you have clicked on some form of Microsoft content somewhere along the way, and that's called retargeting. It's retargeting you on a website that you regularly engage in and using cookies, etc. So thinking about how you might be sometimes wondering why a pair of shoes pops up, or you've been searching on a shopping site and suddenly you've been reserved the content that you've been seeing. So that's called retargeting. So that's what we do a lot around creating noise or share of voice or creating that reach. So the next step is really then how do we drive that behavior or that click-throughs or that awareness into acquiring leads? And so what we do is we're really wanting to drive those leads into our engagement programs in that customer journey I mentioned before, or targeting those customers, which we call in marketing an account-based marketing model, or acronymed as an ABM. So that program is really about how we target directly to customers. They're a known customer, and how we target them directly with this content and with this campaign. And so really the goal of that is just targeted marketing, and we're really looking to acquire leads and further engagement. Now, how we're doing that, if we're sort of going down to the mid-tier of that there, we're doing that through paid media, through web buying, through social media, and through our owned and operated channels. So through our owned website, so through our own Microsoft LinkedIn channels, through our Microsoft News Center. And that's our driving those awareness activities and driving them into a campaign landing environment, which is the website. And so the Open for Business website is a standalone site off the back of a Microsoft, so we'd call that a microsite. And this campaign would sort of list itself out there, where for New Zealand we've got customized content, so case studies, etc., where we're taking people on a journey, and then from there we drive them into a global engagement program, so we further nurture them along the journey of their buying process, and then ultimately being picked up as a lead and a sale. So really the ultimate goal today, I think that's my last slide. I think Anusha, you're from there, is really just around a bit of an education, a bit of a journey of what we do from a customer marketing perspective. So you can learn, so you can, if you see this content out there, you've heard it here first, but it's really an opportunity that I still want to keep showing up within this forum and just demonstrating what we do at a Microsoft level of how we're trying to reach and engage our customers, which are your customers, but also help educate partners and on a modern marketing customer targeting approach. And as the slide says, open for discussion, and whether that's Q&A for me around what I've just presented, or questions back to Paul or to Ken. But now the floor is open to you guys if you want to pipe up with some questions, or into the chat box, or take yourself off mute.
One thing I'll just jump in, guys. It's Paul Bowkett speaking. We'd love to get your feedback on future content you'd like to see in here. I know we quite often do mention this, but please let us know. This is partly your call. We're doing this to make sure we're disseminating the right stuff to you. So we won't always get it right. So please give us feedback what you'd like to see. You don't have to do it right now as well. Feel free to email us at nzpartner@microsoft.com, or to me or Anusha or whomever directly as well. Thanks, Barry, for your tip on uploading the PowerPoint. We've had various tries at different ways of running these events, as you all know. Sometimes uploading the PowerPoint can be beneficial, though, that's true. Thank you for Jono to helping out answer some questions in the IM window.
Particularly works, Paul, if you're in low bandwidth situations. So that's where I found it useful.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, since we're talking about Teams, I don't know if everyone saw, but we are launching a 7x7 video wall. That's 49 videos, same as Zoom. Into the education tenants starting, actually almost like this week, next week, and then into July, and then commercial tenants will follow after that. So as you can see, the Teams engineering group have rapidly risen to the challenge to make sure we got feature parity with Zoom.
Any update, Paul, on when Microsoft List is going to be available?
I don't know actually, Barry. I'd have to even. I haven't even looked at the roadmap myself actually on that. It does look quite exciting though, and also obviously the bringing together of tasks to do and planner into the new Teams tasks, which I think will be pretty awesome as well.
Yeah, I'm hanging out for that.
I need money in Excel to keep my family in check with their spending. It's available in the US only at the moment. Someone's got their hand raised in the attendees. Akash?
Yes, Akash, feel free to speak up. You have your hand raised. Could be by mistake. And feel free, guys, to jump off. Obviously, we're done for our main content today, so feel free to jump off the call if you want.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys, for tuning in, and to Paul, Ken, and Pip for presenting. Again, we'll definitely see you guys next month, but like Paul said, any feedback is more than welcome. I'll put my details in the chat window now.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Thanks for that.
Sorry, Paul, was there, or Pip, was there the Open for Business website somewhere link? Because I didn't see it in the chat, and I didn't.
Oh, we
attach
probably
to
didn't
the
put it in the
slide.
chat. What is it? Microsoft.com/transform, is it?
Not the M365 one, the one that Pip just mentioned. The
Yeah.
campaigns.
Yeah, the campaign. Yeah. I did have the URL in my head the other day. I've lost it. Let me get it. Together. So if you go microsoft.com/together, I don't know why it's called Open for Business, but the URL is microsoft.com together.
Okay, cool.
As in we're all in it. Yeah, I'll just chuck that in the IM window as well. Thank you for asking. That's a good point.
Hey Paul, Akash has just asked this question on chat window.
Oh right. Hi Akash. Well, depends on it depends on what hardware it is, and it depends on what the question is, Akash. Feel free to give it a shot though, or you could reach out if you want to reach out to me directly. Yeah, feel free. I'm happy to try and help out. This is obviously not a support forum. So I've put my name there, P Bowkett. Put P Bowkett at Microsoft.com will reach me. So Akash, assuming you're listening to this, Paul, I'll put my full email address. Here we go, paul.bowkett at Microsoft.com. I'm just posting it in the IM window. Just ping me an IM. Feel free to come off mute and ask as well. Yeah, David's asking about Duo. That stuff's kept highly under wraps. David, the kind of the new Microsoft is we are very, very transparent in terms of public roadmap stuff around public cloud services and that, but new feature stuff that's some way off is like incredibly hard to get insight on, even internally. I did actually read an article. This has nothing to do with internal Microsoft. I did read an article online saying that apparently there'd been delays in manufacturing production with some of that stuff because of COVID as well. So I don't know how true that was, but I would imagine there'd be some truth to it. Yeah, I don't know. So Akash, so it looks like you're saying you're off mute on your computer, but it's not coming through. No, we can't hear. I'm sorry, mate. Just send me an email. My email address is there. Just ping me an email. If you send me an email now, I'll reply to you shortly. And Art, yeah, the 7x7. No, there's no. We never we never determine or dictate a time frame for deployment of stuff. The same with 3x3 9 video. We said it would roll out. Whatever it was, a month, 2 months ago, whatever it was, but it's hard because the service has to be deployed into every one of our data centers in the world, and so just some of that is the complexity of actually determining timeframes is pretty difficult. But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping it's not too far away off. This team's running it internally already at Microsoft, so and we're rolling it to education shortly. So. And yeah, Jono, good point. Yeah, I mean, Azure AD Premium, we announced that, a couple of months ago. Some customers have it, some don't. It's just the way the service works, rolling the feature sets out to the racks. It's not a matter of just hitting setup.exe and it's available everywhere, unfortunately.
Thank you, Paul and team, for your great service today.
Thank you all for joining. We appreciate it. We couldn't do it without you guys joining. So thank you, David, and the rest of them. I think with that, we'll probably sign off. I think it's probably a good time to pull the pin.
Perfect. Yes. Thank you so much, team, once again. Hope you guys have a great month, and we'll see you in July.